New at 10, the man who brought us the cult classic Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz is taking on another classic for the big screen.
Famed director Edgar Wright is rebooting The Running Man with the help of actor Glen Powell. Fox 12's now Greg Nibler just spoke with Wright about the new film out today. Hi, Greg. I hear this movie's been years in the making.
Yeah, it really has. And when I talked to the director, I asked him about that journey, and he talked about that, but also some really fun Easter eggs that are in there for fans.
I got a grenade! Back at you.
I want to know, from your standpoint, because you have the original book, you've got the original movie, what was your mind frame going into this on how you wanted to shape this world?
I had actually read the book when I was a teenager. I started reading Stephen King books probably a little too young, probably about 12 years old. So I'd read the Running Man novel before I saw the 1987 film. So even though I enjoyed that film, I was well aware that it was a drastically different adaptation of the book, and that there was a whole other movie in that novel to be made. And so, as I became a filmmaker, it had always been in my back of my mind that could be a really good movie, like as in, to do a more faithful adaptation of the Richard Bachman Stephen King novel. So when it actually came to me, I'd actually looked into the rights for it probably about 15 years ago, and it was kind of complicated and they weren't available. And then 4 years ago, Simon Kinberg, one of the producers, emailed me and said, "Is it true you have an interest in doing The Running Man?" And I said, "Yes." And here we are.
I'm gonna come back here and burn this building down. I promise. That's the spirit.
There's a lot of Easter eggs in this, I feel like, which is why I want to go back and watch it again. So for that, is there any particular Easter egg that you're most proud of that you dropped in there that you could maybe tell us about?
I'll tell you one, because it relates to Stephen King himself, is that there's a scene in the movie where, at the network building, where Ben Richards goes to sign up and eventually ends up on The Running Man against his wishes. He doesn't want to do that game show. He wants to do one of the other ones. So he's willing to risk injury but not death. But you go into this kind of changing room, this locker room, where there's all the other jumpsuits for other shows, and they're all color-coded, and the Running Man ones are like scarlet red. But you see above the names of the lockers, you see surnames of the contestants, and they're all like surnames of actors who were in Stephen King film adaptations. And then one of them is King, because Stephen King has appeared on screen a number of times, most famously, I think, in Creepshow, where he plays a major part. So there was a lime green jumpsuit for a show called Bug Out that had King written on it. And when I got to meet Stephen King in person for the first time a couple of weeks ago, I gifted him that jumpsuit. So now he has the King jumpsuit.
Well, Edgar, thank you, for having time to talk to us. Congratulations on the movie. It's a great adaptation of that story. I know that's my time, but I just want to say I appreciate it, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Stop filming me!
So The Running Man is out in theaters today, and if you want to watch my full interviews with Edgar and the film stars Lee Pace and Glen Powell, they'll be on Fox 12 now this afternoon.
Boy, that was quite the ending to that video there, Greg. You made me jump.
I know. I have to say, I love the Easter egg with all the old names of the stars who've been in his adaptations in the past. That's so cool. I love that stuff, those little inside scoops.
Yeah, great interviews over the past couple days. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks.